Gene Hackman, one of Hollywood's most revered actors, has had a career that spanned decades. From his unforgettable role as the villainous Lex Luthor in Superman to his role as a grizzled police chief in The French Connection, Hackman became synonymous with great performances, bringing depth to every role he took on. But now, after a shocking turn of events, his daughter has stepped forward with some startling revelations that have left fans and Hollywood insiders stunned. Gene Hackman's influence on the film industry is undeniable. Born in 1930, Hackman's career spanned an impressive 50 years, during which he earned 2 Academy Awards, a Golden Globe, and countless other accolades for his unforgettable roles. He was a true master of his craft, bringing a unique blend of intensity, vulnerability, and menace to his characters. From starring in gritty crime dramas like The French Connection and The Conversation to family favorites like Hoosiers, Hackman could do it all. But behind the scenes, Hackman lived a life far more private than many realized. After retiring from acting in the early 2000s, he largely stayed out of the public eye, choosing to pursue writing and live a quiet life away from the spotlight. However, recent revelations from his daughter, who has remained largely out of the public eye for years, have shed new light on Hackman's private life, and it's not what we expected. Just a few weeks after Hackman's sudden passing, his daughter, who has chosen to remain anonymous for privacy reasons, came forward with a jaw-dropping statement that shook fans and Hollywood alike. She revealed that, while Hackman was an incredibly talented actor, he had a much more complicated personal life than many might have realized. According to her, Hackman had kept a number of secrets from his fans and even some of his closest colleagues. Hackman, known for his strong on-screen personas, apparently struggled with a range of personal demons throughout his life that he worked tirelessly to keep hidden. His daughter spoke out about how Hackman's fame sometimes conflicted with his personal desires to live a more ordinary, peaceful life. One of the most shocking revelations was how Hackman's strained relationship with the industry led him to make the decision to step away from Hollywood entirely. Though fans and the media were left wondering why he disappeared from the scene in the mid-2000s, Hackman had secretly grown tired of the constant attention and pressure. He simply wanted a life away from the public eye, and for Hackman, that meant retreating into relative obscurity. But perhaps the most startling piece of information that his daughter shared was that, despite his tough exterior and his reputation as a Hollywood powerhouse, Hackman was deeply sensitive. According to her, he often found it difficult to reconcile his public persona with the private man he was. This conflict between who he was on-screen and who he was at home was something Hackman grappled with for most of his life. Hackman's daughter described how her father's decision to step away from acting and embrace a quieter life ultimately affected his family dynamic. While Hackman's fans knew him for his brilliant work on-screen, his family saw a different side of him. A man who cared deeply about his loved ones but also had a complicated relationship with his own fame. In one particularly emotional statement, Hackman's daughter recalled how her father once admitted that he was haunted by the roles he'd played, and sometimes felt trapped by the characters he became so famous for. For many actors, roles like Hackman's are lifelong legacies, but for him, they were also a source of inner turmoil. Yet, despite all the challenges, his daughter said that Hackman never stopped caring for his family. He was a fiercely dedicated father who, even in his most private moments, always wanted to make sure his loved ones were taken care of. His daughter also shared how Hackman was a deeply loving grandfather, often spending quiet afternoons with his grandkids, away from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Hackman's death was a bittersweet moment for fans and family alike. While his daughter had made it clear that his passing was a difficult time for the family, she expressed that they had come to peace with it, knowing that Hackman had lived life on his own terms. He had achieved more than most people could ever dream of in their careers, and by his own standards, he had finally found a place where he could rest and enjoy life in his own way. The impact of his death, however, has been felt deeply by his fans, who now know even more about the man behind the iconic roles. His daughter's shocking revelations have painted a fuller picture of the man many only knew through his work on-screen. With these revelations, Gene Hackman's legacy only becomes more complex and fascinating. While he will always be remembered for his incredible work on-screen, these intimate glimpses into his private life show that Hackman was not just a legendary actor, but a deeply human figure with struggles, fears, and dreams just like the rest of us. His daughter's decision to share these personal stories shows a new side of Hackman, one that is both relatable and inspiring. It's a reminder that even the most iconic stars have their own battles, and it's through these challenges that they often find their true strength. Hackman's work will continue to be celebrated for generations to come, but now, his legacy is richer than ever before. His daughter's revelations remind us that behind every famous face is a story, and sometimes those stories are even more compelling than the roles they play.